What is up, everybody? Welcome to Tuesday Q&A. Got a good one for you tonight. Hopefully it works out okay. We'll find out what happens. Usually when I try to share my screen and go on the internet, it goes super slow. So hopefully that's not the case tonight. Because I got one of my people that I'm helping is having trouble with her macros, so hopefully I could figure it out um, and just kind of show everyone how to do it. All right. So, there's absolutely zero questions. So this might be a 2-minute live Q&A. So if you're on and you have questions, go and ask. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it off by showing you, as I said in the description today, I'm going to let you see my coach yell at me. It's not really yelling, it's just the way he talks. He's an ex-Navy SEAL. But to give you a quick backstory on it, so pretty much what happens is the last, so about 3 weeks ago, I asked him if I could have a high carb day because on Sundays or whatever, I like to eat more carbs. And he was concerned about it because usually what happens when you have high carb days, especially if you're already in high in carbs, which where I'm currently at, he says people just take it more as a cheat day instead of just a high carb day, and that's exactly what I've been doing. So he was right on point. And so what happened is that's kind of the context behind it. So Father's Day, so I'll show you. So I guess you can't see that. So this is typically my cancel that. I think you guys can you see that? All right, so this is typically my what I'm supposed to be, or this is what I'm supposed to be eating this week. And then last week it was the same thing, but then on one day I was 350 carbs with like 2,500 calories, but I ended up eating like 2,000 or 3,000 calories. I don't know why it's not letting me. 1 second. I don't want to zoom in. I want to scroll up. Oh wait, duh. All right. So I wanted to share this with you guys to let you know that we are not all perfect, and he actually gave some valid points on why you don't want to keep going over your calories and have too many cheat meals. So it's actually pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. And I'm sorry for the profanity that he uses.
What's going on, brother? All right, my man. So what we're going to do as far as parameters this week is you're just going to have all 7 days that are going to be exactly the same. And then, so those are just going to be, basically what we're going to do is we're just going to eliminate your high day for this week since you had such a major high day for Father's Day. So going forward this week, this is what you're looking at, brother. It's going to be 175 grams of protein every day, 225 grams of carbs, 55 grams of fat, and total calorie ceiling set at 2,095. And now, Luke, I just want to make sure that you have this information so that way moving forward, you can make the best possible decisions regarding you and your physique. And I'm not sure if you realize this, so I want to just absolutely spell it out for you in no uncertain terms. I do want you to realize that every single day you take a binge day, like what you did on Father's Day, or like what you did the day before the competition, or like at different times that you've celebrated things, that you go way over calories. And what we found is, hey, we can go ahead and correct your physique and get it back to where it is. And you seem very comfortable doing that. And that's great. But I also do want you to be aware of the flip side of that, that every time you do something like that, you are training your body to be slower and fatter in the long run. And I'm not sure if you realize that. And I'm not sure if I've actually just flat out and said that to you. So I want to give you an idea of what's actually going on. So on a couple different levels, you're training yourself to be fat every single time you binge. On a neurological level, what you're doing is you're playing into the pathways that manage binge and purge production in your brain. So this idea of, hey, I'm going to go ahead and splurge. I'm going to reward myself. I'm entitled to more food because it's a holiday, things like that. You're playing into that binge thing, which is going to continue to drive you forward onto that. And then the idea of sitting here saying, well, I'll use exercise or I'll use power foods or something like that to go ahead and get this extra water off is then psychologically playing into this idea of, hey, I can go ahead and immediately go for a quick fix and purge this off of me. Now, on a physiological side, this is where it gets to be physically more dangerous because of the fact what happens is when you take in a huge influx of calories like that, obviously you're not going to have room in your body for it. So what your body immediately going to do is it's going to start trying to create some equilibrium in your blood volume. So you're going to be pissing out a ton of water to make room for all of the new nutrients that are basically going to be stuffed into your blood. Anything that can't make it into your blood and is still going to be resting in the gut, since you have nowhere to put it at that point, is going to be told by the body through signals to start being stored as fat. Then what's going to happen is as you start rehydrating, your body has already turned off, all the production of protein synthesis. I don't say all the production. I'm being, completely fucking swinging the pendulum back and forth, but you get the idea. When it doesn't have anywhere else to put these things, and then your blood starts getting the hydration back into it, you're still going to have all these extra nutrients. So what's going to happen? It's going to have to sit there and deposit all these extra nutrients as fat. Now, because of the fact that you are lean and you have then shrunk your fat cells, you are then encouraging them to multiply at a faster rate to make room for this huge influx of calories every single time a binge happens. So I've noticed that as we're going along, we're seeing these binges start to add up at a more frequent weight, which then means that you are going to be accumulating fat tissue at a much faster rate because of the fact that you're not only encouraging the fat cells to split and multiply, but then they're also going to start growing in weird formations. Like, I'm not sure if you've seen people that do like the ice sculpting or things like that on their abs or things like that. But while it will go ahead and get fat in one area, it'll encourage fat production in weird areas. So you end up with like goiters on your neck and weird shit like that. So again, this is not going to be the best overall outcome for a normal human being, let alone a coach and somebody who's going to be advertising their physique, because this is going to cause long-term problems over a course of time. And then this is definitely something that you don't want to be coaching your clients towards, because with the average person who didn't get as lean as you, this is going to cause massive fuck ups down the road that are going to keep compounding themselves over time. So not necessarily a good thing at all. So I just want you to be aware and have all this information, so that way next time you decide, hey, is it really worth it to me to go ahead and eat 1,000 calories over for the day? You can be like, is it worth it to me to start getting weird fat cells growing out of my neck in goiter form? Because that's definitely going to be a possibility if this happens frequently enough. Does that make sense, brother?
Makes sense.
Again, nothing to worry about like for the occasional type thing, but since I am seeing this popping up more and more and you are becoming more accountable to yourself and comfortable with your own decisions, I want you to have the big picture of information.
And there you have it. Moral of the story. What's more important, overeating constantly or having goiters in your neck? Thought that was funny. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and let you know that, hey, we're not all perfect, and you don't have to be perfect to get great results, but you do have to put in the effort, right? And so what I'm going to do now, because there's 0 questions, I'm going to hopefully the internet stays with me, but the person I'm helping has no, she's not the best when it comes to technology, which I know many people aren't, and she's really struggling with MyFitnessPal. So I'm just going to kind of help her hit her macros. So she sent me what she already ate, and then I'll kind of go over what she's aiming for. All right. So I'm just going to open up MyFitnessPal. It's already asking me to refresh. All right, let's see if this works. I'm going to go to tomorrow's date. All right, so it's definitely going to be slow. So if you guys want to watch, feel free. Um, if not, I totally understand. To broadcast system audio, please update the latest. All right, so here we go. All right, so her goals currently, I took a picture of it. So we need, and I'll remind you guys, 110 grams of protein, 160 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat. And we got this based on her average of the first week of her tracking. So I'm going to go ahead and enter what she already has because it doesn't hit those targets and she's just wondering how to actually hit the targets. So that's what I'm going to go over. So let me look at what she already ate. All right. So one thing I noticed that she did, and so I'll show this for you guys. I'm pretty sure most people know this, but for those again who've never used this and might be confused themselves, so like for eggs, for example, she has 2 entries of 1 egg. So what I assume is she actually had 2 eggs. So instead of having to put the same entry 2 times, if you have 2 servings of one thing, let's search eggs. As you can see, that's usually what I have. And one thing I highly recommend, of course, is protein shakes. They're easy. All right, so 1 egg. So instead of having to put it twice, all you have to do is go right here and put 2 servings of 1 egg. Same thing, it shows the same exact, it looks different in the app, but it has the same exact options. Add to food library. All right, so she had 2 eggs, 2 ounces of pork sausage, boom, 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 boom. Pork sausage. Sounds good. Hope you made me some. Let's see what she just put. Generic, about 190 calories. I'll just choose that. Close enough. Usually, if it has a check mark, also it means it's like been verified multiple times. So it is usually good. So 2 ounces, perfect. So she had 2 ounces of pork sausage. Add to food library. If it's not exact, it's close enough. Yeah, hers is 190. That's 200. I'll take it. All right. All right. So this is actually moving quick. It didn't pass. All right. So she had 2 eggs, pork sausage. She had oat bran, 1 cup of oat bran. Uh, 1 cup. So her 1 cup says 88 calories, but I don't know how that's. Well, I guess it's that one. Oat bran cooked, 87 calories. All right. So also make sure you guys are measuring it and you're just not eyeballing it. But I'll follow this. And then 1 tablespoon or teaspoon of butter, grass-fed butter. Boom, boom, boom. And if you guys have any questions on MyFitnessPal, go ahead and ask. Pretty much, this is what we're covered. This might take me 20 minutes. Oh, I don't want that. All right, so I use the same butter she has, GHEE butter. Ghee butter. Ghee butter. All right, 1 teaspoon. Right here, we're looking about 40-ish calories. I already know she's going to ask. She's going to say, well, mine's grass-fed. It doesn't matter. All right. Of course, get it as close as you can. So if it is grass-fed, put it. But for this example, it really doesn't matter. All right. So next she has, still breakfast. All right, strawberry. So she has 2 different entries of 3 medium strawberries. So I'm going to assume she had 6 strawberries and a medium peach. It's a nice looking breakfast. Hearty. All right. So I never like to just type in, so what this kind of tells me is it's not being weighed too much. So I never like to enter like medium strawberries or anything like that. Like if you look on mine, I'll measure out that, so I'll put my strawberries uh, on a food scale and measure it. So I'm going to be eating like 200 grams of strawberries. I'm not eating like 10 medium-sized strawberries. If that makes sense. It's just a way to be more accurate. Um, so like this is usually what I eat right here, 200 strawberries. But hers is 9 calories each, so let's just look for something that has about 18 calories of strawberries. So what I'll do is I'll choose this one, and then I'll just cut it. Oh man, bad at math. So if I do half, it's 20. So I'll do like 0.25. And that's about the same amount of calories of strawberries she had. And lastly, 1 peach for breakfast. We're almost done with breakfast. Let's go medium peach. So again, I wouldn't look up this food. I would type in peach and then measure it and then put like 100 grams of peach, whatever it may be. 59 calories, perfect. Hers was 59 calories. All right, so this is her breakfast. Now I'm just gonna, so what I'm doing right now for those kind of jumping in is I'm just entering all the food she already has, and then I'm gonna help her reach her goals for the food that she likes to have. Cool, the rest shouldn't take too long. It's pretty much the same stuff. All right, so let's move to lunch. I wish there was a way, maybe it's in the paid version, where you could just kind of share with your coach or something. I don't want another peach. did see it here. A comment. Let's see if there's a comment. The 60-ounce beverage counts towards your water intake. Yes, the 60 ounces does count towards your water intake. How do you calculate a serving macros if you're making a meal with a bunch of stuff in it? Like I made a one-pot Mexican dish, had brown rice, black beans, veggies. Great question. So the best way to do that is go ahead and ask Sakina. The best way to do that, Marlene, is you just have to measure everything individually and then put on your plate. So like if you're making it um, like in one pot like that, the best way to go about that, everything takes extra effort, of course, but you just have to measure it, put it in the pot, so know everything you have in there, and then figure out how many servings that is, and then you just divide that based on yours. Of course, it won't be 100% accurate, but it's going to give you a really good idea of where it's at. Bum, 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 bum. I see my computer already slowing down. All right. What am I looking for? Okay, so we're on lunch. So she has brown rice. I know I got brown rice in here. I eat that. I eat that today. So as you can see, usually what I do is I just put everything at 1 gram and put how many grams I have. So she had 150 calories of it. Let's see how many. Let me just look at mine. Maybe if I just enter this on my phone and then refresh this, that might be faster. So today I had 200 grams, which was 220 calories. So for time's sake, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this to 150 grams, which will be roughly around what she ate. Sound fair? And as you can see, like if you get the same thing, you could literally just kind of like check mark, ba, 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 and it all just, that's what I had today, Starbucks quinoa salad. All right, so add that, let's see what that came out to, 166. Oh, where's my picture at? I'll get to those questions. Perfect, I was only about 10 calories off. All right, and then so this should go fast. So she put like tomato paste, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So pretty much she had like 0.2 cup each time. So I'm assuming she had 6 servings of it. And then also, Debbie, if you're watching this or watching this later, you have some that say tomato paste and some that say tomato sauce. I don't know if it's the same thing or not, but I'm just going to put tomato sauce because it's only a 5-calorie difference between the both, and to make this go a lot faster. What'd you have it with? Bunch of tomato sauce and brown rice. But either way, even if it was a mistake, this will show you how to get where you want to go. All right, so I'm going to put in Mere Glen tomato paste. After I enter this, I'll look at all those comments. Commentes. All right, so 30, perfect. Yeah, so I'll just go off this one. It's like a 5-calorie difference. All right, so she did 1, 2, from the picture she sent anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 servings of this. Yeah, so instead of having to put it in 6 different times, you could just go to servings and do 6. Bam. And again, I know I'm on the computer, but everything you do on the computer, you could do in the app. It just looks a little different. All right, actually, I think I just have, yeah. So I just got one more thing to do, and then I'll go ahead and look at the comments. And then I'll come back and fix this. All right, so last thing she has it in dinner, but I'll just put it here for lunch, which is 4 ounces of ground beef. I'm not a fan of ground beef. Not that it's bad for you, it just doesn't sit well in my stomach. 4 ounces, 240 calories, so I'll use this one. All right, so, all right, Debbie, so I got what you entered now. Now we're going to look at the macros, and then we're going to go back and help you hit the targets. All right, but first, let's look at some comments. How about some applause for entering that? Thank you. What up, Callie B? All right, let's scroll back up here. Cool. Hopefully that made sense for you, Marlene. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. Cool. Yeah, it will be off a little bit, but the fact that like you'll be close enough where it's not going to like ruin your results. You're not gonna be like me and go over 1,000 calories. What if your average macros for the week is the same, but maybe you got more carbs one day and less carbs the second day? So, what we always try to coach. So one thing I want to tell you, but also don't want to tell you guys. So like the numbers really don't mean too much, like as much as you think they do. It's more about consistency. So the fact that like it's more important for you to hit the numbers, not to hit the numbers for results sake, but to hit the numbers for your mindset sake. Like why aren't you able to be consistent every day? Like that's what you need to take into account rather than, oh, I'm going to go over this day knowing I could go under this day. Like you don't want to play that game. You want to play the game of I'm setting my mindset to hit those numbers every single day no matter what. When you could get that done, then you could really get, again, whatever result you want and keep it for the rest of your life because you've built the mindset behind it. Not so much of just knowing how to manipulate stuff when you want to manipulate stuff, right? I hope that makes sense. So as far in the grand scheme of things, it really depends on how much you go over, how much you go under. Um, you won't get the absolute best results by doing that. But also, kind of like what I'm saying, it's more important to be consistent if that's what you've been told to do and that's your goals, more for a mindset sake rather than pure results sake. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Also, as Daniela said, for you, Marlene, you could create a recipe in the MyFitnessPal. So the first time it will take you a little bit more, but you could create that recipe. So every time you make it, you could just type in Marlene's Mexican dish pot, and it'll pop up and already be there for you. Or fats one day is 30, another is 40, and overall, does it still cause binging issues in the long run? So that's up to you. I mean, everybody's different. I don't think that will cause any kind of binging issues, but it will cause um, it'll cause what was that? Like your results won't be the way you want them to be. You can't like just the fact that you're allowing yourself to do that means you're not giving 100% effort. And it's like nothing on you. Like for me too. Like I knew I was eating over my calories. It was me telling myself, hey, this is good enough. I'm going to work it off. I'll eat super clean the rest of the week. That's me not giving 100% effort. That's me just being lazy and saying, hey, like whatever, like I'll be okay. And same kind of thing. So it all depends on what the results you want. If you want the best of the best results, then hit 35 every single day or like around there. don't give in to temptation because you really want that extra cheese on that thing or whatever it may be, and you go up in fat, and just knowing like, you know what, I'll just eat less tomorrow. Like, you won't be able to get results like that. The best thing I heard, and it's so true, is you can't give 80% effort. When it comes to nutrition, you cannot give 80% effort and expect 80% return. It doesn't work that way. It's all or nothing, pretty much. Um, Especially when you hit a certain point. And that's why so many people hit that plateau and feel like they can't get past it. It's because they haven't given that 100% effort yet. They're still at that 80% effort where they keep losing and gaining the same 5 pounds over and over again. Right? And it's just have to take that jump over and really just setting the mindset like, I'm going to do this no matter what. So, um, again, as far as results, and again, if it's only a 5 gram difference, it's not going to play a big role at all. But everything, as you always hear me talk, it's all about the mindset. Like, you get the mindset down, you're going to get all your results down. But you just don't want to. You don't want to. It's better for you to learn how to do it right rather than learn how to manipulate. Right? You don't want to find those shortcuts of things because you just never get the results that you want to. Um, Yeah, yeah, I do keep breaking in and out, Cal. It's all glitchy on my side too. I gotta figure this out with. Maybe someone needs to buy me a new computer. You want to buy me a new computer? All right. Um, I don't know. I don't know if you heard anything I said, Sakina, but it's more about a mindset thing than anything else. All right, so I'll just repeat that. So when it comes to, hopefully you guys could hear this the second time, but when it comes to finding, or when it comes to manipulating the thing, like, all right, I'm going to eat 10 grams over today, knowing I could eat 10 grams tomorrow less, like, you're not going to get the best results ever that way, just because it's more about your mindset. Like, you knowing that and you intentionally doing that just shows that you're not 100% committed to hitting it no matter what. You're committed to finding shortcuts and to making things easier for yourself rather than just making yourself better. So you just don't want to play into that at all. You just want to be able to just hit those numbers uh, to do it. Grand scheme of thing, if it's literally only 5 grams, it's not going to make a huge difference. But if it's like a consistent thing, again, it's more about mindset. If it's a consistent thing that you're telling yourself you could do that, um, then it's not going to work that well. All right, so I'm going to try to finish off this MyFitnessPal if it lets me. All right, so pretty much what we have going on now for her. The total calories, oh, come back. All right, so this is what she has in her food now, and she has the trouble getting to where she needs to be. Let's see. Put up my picture. All right, so her total carbs right now is at 115, and she needs to be at 160. Her total fat is at 55, and it needs to be at 60. So she's right there, so we're probably going to have to take away some fats. To get more protein in. Maybe, maybe not. Her protein currently is at 73 and she needs to be at 110. So the first thing I'll do is I'll probably just add some more carbs to make it easier. So looking at this, and this is what she sent me, so it could be wrong, it could be right based on what she actually ate, but either way, it'll show you how to do it more. So as we're looking at this, pretty much she had um, pretty good breakfast, fruit, egg, pork sausage. So my first thing, if we do have to lower fat, is give that pork sausage. Just don't eat that anymore. Like that 17 gram fat. So it's, and again, that's just up to you if what's more important, to hit my macros and get the results that I asked for, or eat my pork sausage. And if it's pork sausage, then you just have to take something else out, right? Like you had 34 gram, half of the fat goal is strictly from those two things, right? Pretty much from your breakfast. So you just have to lower the fats. Instead of eggs, you could choose egg whites. Instead of pork sausage, maybe turkey sausage. I don't know if that's any better as far as fat. All right, so we need more carbs. So just by adding more carbs, usually the protein will go up, and by adding protein, fat usually goes up. So we're just gonna have to manipulate this a little bit, and this is just kind of the effort that you guys have to put in to um, hit it. What I always like, it sucks the first time. I'm not gonna lie, but once you do it the first time, like you're good forever. Because when we manipulate your macros after that, it's not going to be a lot. All right, so 115, we need 160, so we need about another 45 grams of carbs. So to make it easy, because I know she likes brown rice, I'm just going to add brown rice here. If you or she doesn't want brown rice, then just go to the food list, choose anything off the carbs list. Could be sweet potatoes, could be quinoa, could be fruit, could be vegetables, um, could be cereal. I don't care. Hit your macros. All right, so here's brown rice. Um, let's see how many grams. I forgot how many grams of carbs 200 grams is. Today I had 200 grams and it was 46 grams of carbs. Perfect. So I'm just going to add 200 grams of brown rice. Don't hit search. Don't hit search. Come on, baby. Work for me. Work for me. Oh, I hit search. All right. Can I just go back? One day I'll figure out what's going on with my internet whenever I do this. If we have any tech people, which I know we do, let me know what I could do to speed up my computer when I stream. All right, so I'm going to add that. So this should, so after this, we should have our carbs down, pretty much our fat down, and we just got to raise protein. Perfect. So carb goal is 160 at 161. Our fat goal is at 60 right now at 57. So all we need left is a few more proteins. So let's look at the protein she likes to eat. So she likes beef, but I don't want to do beef because that has 20 grams of that. What other proteins does she have? Egg. So all of her proteins are really high in fat. So that's one thing that I had to work on myself. I used to eat like 80, 90 grams of fat, and then my coach told me, hey, you should be eating less, 50, 55, and it was really hard for me to do that, and pretty much I just had to give up eggs. I used to eat 4 eggs every single day. I love eggs, but then it just came to the point where it's like, all right, what do I want more? Do I want to get the body that I've been wanting for a long time, or do I want to eat eggs? Like, it was an easy decision. See ya, eggs. So I'm just going to go with chicken. Who doesn't eat chicken? And we need roughly 80, 78, 88, 98, 108. So 30 grams of chicken. Add food. Might be like 200 grams-ish. Let's check. Let's check my chicken. I had chicken yesterday. Yesterday I had 125 grams is about 30. There we go. That's the chicken I use. Add checked. And this should do it. Let's see if it raises the fat too much. No, it should only raise it about 2 grams of fat. All right. So again, her goals that I gave her was 160 grams of carbs. Right now at 161, perfect. Her goal for fat was 60. And again, this was just based on the averages that she did the first week. Let me double check. It was 60, yep. And she's at 59. And the goal for protein is 110. So that's all she had to enter more to hit her targets was 200 grams of brown rice and 125 grams of chicken breast. And then if it comes back and she says that's way too much food, this is the average. So after the first week, if you have me do your macros, We just take the average of what you're already eating. So it's not too much food. It might be too much food for you for that one day. And then you have to ask yourself on why is that too much food for you one day? Did you eat different than you did the day before? Do you need to wake up earlier and start eating earlier? Whatever it may be. Um, but the whole goal again is more about the mindset and just make yourself do it for 1 week, and then we could reassess your results, your goals, how you're feeling, all that stuff. All right. So yeah, so that was actually pretty simple to hit the macros, and that's all you have to do is play around with it. It might take me quicker, and it's only the only reason why it takes me quicker is because I've been doing it every single day for the last 7 to 8 months. That's the only reason why I know like, all right, what's pretty high in protein, has a little bit of fat, chicken. Okay, what can I get carbs in that has some protein and a little fat? Brown rice. The only reason I know that is because I ate it every day for the last 7 months. And you're going to be the exact same way, but you have to put in the effort now, every single day, to be able to do that 6 months from now. Don't expect to be able to do it really easy in 1 week. Don't expect to do it in 3 weeks. Don't expect to do it in 12 weeks. Like, it takes time. And give yourself that time. You deserve it. All right. Well, you guys can't hear me. So hopefully the replay works decently. Other than that, have a wonderful night, guys. I'm going to send this over to the person that asked, and we'll rock it.